Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lita Loca. Welcome to Tuesday Night Live. Welcome to the London's Calling edition of the live show. Now, just less than a week from now, a week from today, this is Thursday, right? A week from today, I will be on a cruise ship going somewhere. I'll be at another port stop. I will be on the Regal Princess, and I'll already be a couple days into my cruise, which means I've been to a couple cities in the UK already. And I'm fired up. I'm excited. I'm somewhat ready for that trip. I still have to pack my clothes. I think I'm checked in for the cruise. But yeah, I've got my accommodations and my airfare, all that stuff going on. But the main goal tonight is to answer your cruise questions, just to spend some time together, check in, see how everybody is doing, answering your questions. Do me a favor, though, if you have a question, just type the word question in front of it or make it noticeable in some way so that I can see it. I'll do my best to answer as many questions as possible. Certainly won't get to everybody's question, but I'm dang happy to have you here. It's been a minute, a couple weeks since we've been live. Let me tell you what we've been up to. We went on a family trip for 3-4 days, starting on the 20th through the 23rd to upstate New York. I've never been to the area that we went to, flew into Syracuse, and we were up there, and we are back from that. And it's just been busy, right? So been on the long transatlantic cruise, and then coming up, I've got this cruise for the next 15 days, and then Jenny B and I will be going to Alaska, going to Alaska with Retro Sarge, my brother, and my beautiful sister-in-law, the Queen of Deutschland, Heidi. We will be crashing a group cruise from the Sharon at Sea YouTube channel, along with the Ship Show YouTube channel. A lot of great people that we know and are friends with. Gonna have a great time. We're basically gonna tear up Alaska. They're gonna kick us out after we go to Alaska. Looking forward to that. And then once we hit July, there are no cruises planned for July, August, and September. There is one cruise that I'm trying to see if I can go on, and I would love for Jenny B to go on it with me if she wants to. I'm trying to talk her into going on the group cruise with Don Terrace to Canada. Because again, this year the mantra, the goal of cruising this year is to be very deliberate, and so we've done pretty good with that. We've gone to Australia, have gone to Northern Europe, now going to the UK. Did a couple Caribbean cruises that were group cruises, so it's been a very good and deliberate cruise year. Seen a lot of stuff that I've never seen before, knocked some things off the bucket list, and that Eastern United States, Eastern Canada cruise would definitely be on the bucket list. So that's the goal, is to maybe pick that up in September, but to spend a couple months catching up with things at home. But that's kind of what we got going on. Hope you guys are doing great out there. It's good to see you here on a Thursday night. We're normally on Tuesday. It's good to be back at 9 o'clock. We've experimented with some 6 o'clock. But I think at the end of the day, once we get back into July, for sure, with some regularity, we're going to eat some bran muffins and some prunes and do fiber Metamucil. We're going to get back to some regular live shows. And I think we're going to slide back into the good old Tuesday Night Live spot, 9 p.m. for the YouTube show and 8 p.m. for the Patreon show. So we're getting back to some normalcy. But what the heck's going on? How the heck is everybody doing? It's good to see you here tonight. Do me a favor, if you are here, please hit the like button so YouTube knows that we got the hot thing going on here. If you're on your mobile device, you just close out of the live chat, hit the thumbs up button, hit live chat again, and then come back. If you're on a TV, it's more challenging, so don't sweat that. But here we go. Big shout out to the Blue Crew. Jenny B is in the house tonight, working the wrench along with Scott McNeil. And all right, looking at the chat here, start hitting me with your cruise questions if you have it. Okay, here we go. Rick Virgie, question, is the NCL Haven worth it? I've never done the NCL Haven experience. When we were on the Prima, we knew somebody that was in the Haven. It sounded like their cruise cost 3 or 4 times more than our balcony cabin. I did get to eat at the Haven restaurant on the NCL Prima. It was wonderful. I did get to look at the Haven exclusive area, the pool area. It was very nice. I don't know if it's worth 3 or 4 times what a normal cruise is, but if you got that scratch and you're looking to, basically that cruise, the Prima, was very crowded everywhere except in the Haven area. And so, again, you're going to get what you pay for. You're going to pay for some exclusivity. You're going to pay to not be with the crowd. So anybody's cruised the Haven out there, can you give some advice? Do you recommend it more so than just, say, a standard nice balcony cabin? I wouldn't kick the Haven experience out of bed if it came my way, but that's a lot of scratch, 3 or 4 times a normal cruise. So it's a tough one. Controversial cruising with a question. What are you going to do different this time in Alaska versus the last time with Dawn? I went with Dawn 2 years ago. Last year it was Jenny B and I. We went on 2 different cruise lines. We went on Princess and we went on NCL. I don't know that I'm going to do much different. I think my brother and Heidi need to do whale watching. I think that's one of the coolest things to do when you're in Alaska is to go over there to Ox Bay and get on a little boat and go see if you can find some humpbacks and some orca and just be out in the nature. That's certainly happening. I don't know if I'll go on that train ride. We haven't really planned our excursions yet, but I'm going to see what everybody else is getting into. But again, I think just being there in Alaska, even if I do exactly the same thing I've done in Alaska, I think it's going to be wonderful. I really enjoy being there, just with the weather and all that kind of stuff. So it's very nice. Let's see. Question, will you continue to do shows on the types of people who wouldn't like a particular cruise line? Yeah, so tomorrow, I think an easy one to do, because I already have the people in my mind, would be MSC. So I think tomorrow, instead of doing a news show, I may come in and record 5 people that would not be comfortable on MSC. Yeah, I like it. I think it's a cool little series. I might do that. Julie, I hope I see Orca again also. Question, what do you suggest to do in San Juan? Kevin Brubaker. I would suggest, a couple things. I would suggest just walking around. If you get to go there in the nighttime, it's really neat. But right off of the port, there's a fort that you can go to. So that's really cool to see. I love these fortified cities. Like, if you can really get into the mindset of why they have a fort overlooking a harbor, and then you kind of conceptualize that back in the day, everything was like a wooden vessel, and they'd have these ramparts of cannons firing down on these wooden vessels to try to protect the harbor. That's cool in its own right. You can go to the fort, check that out. But then just walking the streets of Old San Juan, I think they have the umbrella display back up. And then I would say eat something. If you can find a local restaurant, get some mofongo, get yourself a mojito. I think that's really the San Juan experience. What's interesting about San Juan, it's a territory of the United States. It does feel like the U.S. on some level, but you can definitely get into some stuff that has that San Juan feeling. Walk in the fort, go into a local restaurant. You can do all that really close to the cruise ship. I would suggest that. That would be my suggestion. Daryl Lundy, what is your opinion about rumors of Carnival revamping their loyalty program? I don't think that I've made it too much of a secret. I think that anything that you're getting on a loyalty program, let's say, I'm excited that I'm getting a bag of laundry now that I'm on the loyalty program. Most of the time, the bag of laundry is not any more than $30. And so I don't want to sell my loyalty soul for a bag of laundry. I am not anti-loyalty program, but I'm not really that invested in the loyalty. If you change the loyalty program, I don't care really. Like maybe if all of a sudden something cool goes away, I could see getting upset or something like that. But I think that loyalty programs are a tool that businesses use to trick us into not trying out other experiences. And I do believe that if we don't try out other experiences, we are going to miss out. You got to know why you love the thing that you love. And I think loyalty traps us a little bit. And so I might not be the person to ask about loyalty because I don't necessarily believe in it. Now I am starting to gain some loyalty. I think we're at a level with Royal Caribbean now where we're going to get 4 free drinks a day, which we don't even drink 4 drinks a day, but that's nice. But yeah, about the rumors, I don't know. I mean, you can go on the internet and there's 1,000 rumors. Like there's a whole thread going on right now about whether or not, if you're getting a free casino offer on Carnival, whether they're still going to give you the VFIP points. There's a whole conspiracy that now Carnival's cut it out to the point where John Heald had to say they haven't cut it out. And that's a whole lot of clicking cycles for something that may not be true. So it's a great question. But until somebody tells me specifically they changed the loyalty program and this is what you lost out on, I don't really have an opinion on it, I guess. Let's see. Question, going on Virgin Voyage, this is from Gian. Going on Virgin Voyages for July the 4th, what should we do in Costa Maya? So Costa Maya is a port that was developed by a Mexican business owner, and it was developed specifically for cruise ships. Costa Maya, I went to Chacchoban, the ruins there. That was in a Mexican excursion, right? You can go see some ruins. But if you just want to stay at Costa Maya, there's a swim up pool there with a bar, kind of like think of a Margaritaville type vibe. If you want to do a dolphin encounter, they have it right there at Costa Maya. So there's a lot of stuff to do there. Shopping, there's restaurants there, and it's all self-contained in the port if you just want to walk over there and you don't want to go any deeper. But if you do an excursion, Chacchoban was really cool. It was a really interesting excursion. I would recommend either one of those things. Just depends what you'd like to do. Question from Diane. So bummed to have missed you on the How Canada last year. When are you going in September this year? Maybe. Yeah. So Don's doing one on the Don Terrace, Don's Family Vacation. Our buddy Don. He is doing one on the Caribbean Princess, and I believe it is the latter part of September. I have forgotten the date, but that's the one I'm trying to see if Jenny B wants to do. So Sharon at Sea Travel is here. I am very excited that at the middle of next month, I'll get to hang out with my brother and my sister-in-law, Heidi, but I'm also dang excited to hang out with the Sharon at Sea crew. I'm excited to hang out with the Ship Show crew. They're a lot of fun, and I love those guys, and I straight up miss them. I miss Jamie, and I miss John. I've gotten to know Sharon a little bit over the Vloggers cruise. I miss Sharon, and I barely know John's wife Kelly, but I miss her too. So I'm looking forward. And then of course all of the usual suspects in those crews. I can't wait to hang out. Be in the casino with people. It's exciting. I'm excited to do it. A question from Z. I am booked on Beyond Retreat next month. Can I make calls using a cell phone? Should I take a radio, the kind you use for camping, to communicate with the family? Z, you should use the internet. Your cell phone is not going to work while you're at sea unless you have some sort of internet connection. So you may want to check and see if you can get Wi-Fi calling on your phone and then get yourself an internet package. Or when you get to port, make sure that your cell phone provider has an international plan that will work at your ports of call. That's the easiest way to do it. It sounds like these other things that you're talking about, camping radios and stuff like that, that sounds a lot more complicated than you probably need to get. Just make sure that your phone can make internet calls. Get your family on WhatsApp. That's a pretty common way that people communicate. You can voice app through that. You can video through that, and we've had good luck with that. Don't get scammed by anybody saying use WhatsApp, but we personally use WhatsApp, Jenny B and I, to communicate, and we've done that in Australia and Europe, that kind of thing, and it works pretty much. It works better sometimes than even the Wi-Fi calling. So, question from Ethan Cole: any experience at Turquoise Bay in Roatan? No, none at all. If anybody knows anything about Turquoise Bay in Roatan, tag Ethan down there and say something about it. Let's see. Question from the Big Pest. Satire. What are we saying here? If someone books a cabin with a service dog, does the dog count as a second passenger, and does the dog have to take the drink package too? I think that's pretty funny. I don't know. That's a great question. Like, I don't know when it comes to booking a service animal if there's any additional charge. I think that's a fair question, especially for people that have service animals. Jenny B, I don't know if you know the answer to that, but do service animals cruise for free? Certainly don't have to get the drink package. That's funny, though. But I've had this question bouncing around in my mind. What do you go through to do that? Thank you, Mary Beth. Don's cruise is September the 19th out of New York, and you're okay. Well, look, we're obviously going now. Mary, is it more than one Mary Beth or just you, Mary Beth? You and Julie? I think that makes it even more enticing to go September the 19th out of New York City. I'd love to go back to New York. Yes. Debbie Joe inquired about your insurance policy. I know you're not an agent. Do you give an approximate amount for the whole year, or what you're... So we have an annual plan. I don't think you say how much travel expense you're going to have. I think they just quote you based on your age and how many people. So I feel like ours is a few $100s, maybe $400. I can't remember. You get to pick all your different coverages, how much medical, how much emergency evac, that kind of thing. but I don't think you have to provide your expense of your travel expense. Maybe. I don't remember. It was a year ago when I booked it, and then I just renewed without having to do anything extra. I do want to say this, and I'm sure other people already have this experience. We're flying more. Jenny and I are flying more. And when we were in the Syracuse airport, before we were in the Syracuse airport, we were in the Tampa airport, we were stuck in a long line for security, and we saw a bunch of people whipping by us in the TSA pre-check, and it really started the wheels spinning, like, how do you get the TSA pre-check? And we never got an answer to that question. However, when we were in the Syracuse airport, we had an extra hour to kill, and we walked by a booth where you can sign up for the TSA pre-check. And so we did that process. I just want to put it out into the universe. I'm sure people already know about it, but if you don't, this is how the process worked for us. The TSA pre-check is good for 5 years. It costs $79 per person. And to get it, we had to give our thumbprints and our fingerprints from both hands. We had to give all of our known addresses for the last 5 years. We had to give all of our known names. Jenny had to give her maiden name, any other names that we might be known by, any aliases, that kind of thing. Like I had to tell them my name was also Lobster T. And then they put all that in the computer, and they say, hey, look, we'll contact you in a couple days. If you're approved, you'll get this thing called a known traveler number. You put that known traveler number into your airline reservations, and this is what's going to flag you for TSA PreCheck. TSA PreCheck, at least in Tampa, allows you to go through security in a shorter line. You don't have to take off your shoes. You don't have to take anything out of your bag. You don't have to take off your belt. You don't have to strip naked. All of that stuff that you have to do in the, kind of the peon pleb line, which, we got patted down again. That was a fun experience. But it was an easy process, and within 24 hours, both Jenny and I got approved. And they ask you, like, if you have felonies, anything like that. We both got approved. We have that. I can't wait to use it. I have to go add it to my reservation for next week. But there's the TSA thing. If you had any questions about it, I don't know if every airport has that thing or if you can do it online, but it was certainly convenient to do it right there at the airport, especially since they have to take your fingerprints and stuff. There you go. Take a breath. All right. Hilda B, I'm not really sure what global entry is. We were having a conversation on the Patreon live stream. It has something to do with customs. Apparently, it's better than the TSA PreCheck, maybe get you the same benefits, but I haven't researched that yet. I wish they had that there when we stopped, but the TSA thing was good. All right. Let's go Red Wings. Amy Condrith, how you doing? You typed Let's Go Predators incorrectly, but we'll let you slide nonetheless. Good to see you here. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. So Bobby D, yeah. So I got to look for the global entry, and maybe I wasted my money on the TSA PreCheck, but at least I've got something going on for this next thing. Kay Hathaway, question: have you used the Brightline train? Thinking of using the train from Miami to West Palm instead of renting a car. I don't think I've used the Brightline. I have taken the Amtrak from Tampa to Fort Lauderdale. I booked like just a car. I don't know what they're called. I wasn't like in coach. I had my own little. It's got a pithy name. I can't remember what it's called. But I did do the train that way. It wasn't bad. It's like 4-hour train ride across from Tampa to Fort Lauderdale. It was a little challenging to get the Uber out to the train station, but I liked it. But yeah, I know they're finishing some new rail out that's supposed to make it even faster. So let's see. Question from Margot from Anchorage. What Lego stamps will you be acquiring next week? I haven't done the research yet to see which of the port stops have the Lego store, but I am going back to South Queensferry, going back to Edinburgh. So if I end up in that same spot in Edinburgh that I did on the last cruise, I'm at least going to get the Edinburgh stamp. Maybe Dublin's got a Lego store. I need to go look and see. But this is going to be a wild, busy cruise. 13 days and only 2 sea days. And we don't get to the first sea day until day 8. So it's going to be port, all kinds of stuff to see. I'm very excited. I have 0 excursions booked. Everything that I wanted to book was already sold out when I started to book. So either we're going to do stuff locally, like with a third-party tour company, or we're going to just hit up the excursion desk when we get on board. And when I say we, Jenny B is not going on this trip to the UK. Instead, my travel mate will be Don Terrace, Don T, as I like to call him, Don T from Don's Family Vacations. And then also J and D from Para DJ are going to be on this cruise. They booked a lot of third-party stuff. They sent me the list of the third-party stuff they booked, so maybe we'll tag on with those guys. But yeah, looking forward to a fantastic 15 days hanging out with some of my favorite YouTubers. But yeah, also, I know there's other people that are going to be on the cruise. I'm looking forward to hanging out with those folks. Also, let's see. How many unbuilt Lego kits do I own? I own 8 at this point. From Rob, I don't know. So my daughter Danielle, she might be in here. The roomette, that's right, Sue, was what is called on the Amtrak train. But I'm more of a Lego collector than I am a builder. We continue to rent our house. We're thinking about buying a house either this year or next year. And so I'm holding off building a lot, building bigger sets until we get into the house. I don't know is the answer to the question. I probably have 20 or 30 sets that are unbuilt from small to large sets. But Danielle has volunteered to start inventorying them so that when they want to buy me gifts, they do not repeat stuff that I already own. I'm very excited about a set that's coming out on June the 4th. They've recreated a Pac-Man arcade cabinet. Looks fantastic. I think that may even motivate my brother Retro Sarge there to buy a Lego set. So yeah, I don't know. I'm working on the Globe right now. I finally, after a few months, finished the Daily Bugle Lego set, and I had committed to not building anything else until I built that. And I'm 5 bags into the Globe, which is really nice. Question from Michelle R. One item I won't cruise without. Gosh, I won't. My passport, obviously. Everything else is pretty negotiable. I just need to make sure that I have a camera and clothes, enough clothes that I can wear for a few days and then wash. But I won't cruise without a tripod because I can't do my daily show without a tripod unless I just prop my camera up somewhere. But the passport's probably the most important thing that I cruise with. Question. Oh yeah, RetroSarch, I think I answered your question. Yeah, I don't know if I'll order it while I'm on the road or wait till I get back, but I kind of feel like it's gonna sell out. So maybe while I'm on the ship, I might be making that. Question from Susan Owens: Are you doing the Giants Causeway versus Goblins from Belfast? I don't know what that is, Susan, but that sounds fantastic. If that's a recommendation for Belfast, I would. I'll check it out. Check it out. Question, can I bring sparkling non-alcoholic cider on board? What about a birthday cake? Happy Joy. Will they let you bring a birthday cake on board? Most cruise lines will let you bring prepackaged food on board, snacks that are sealed. I don't know if a birthday cake would qualify. You might check with your cruise line. Most cruise lines, again, I don't know who you're cruising on, will let you bring a 750 milliliter bottle of alcohol on board, like wine. I'm assuming if your non-alcoholic sparkling wine is in that same type container, I think you would be okay. But I don't know about the birthday cake, so maybe check with your cruise line. A lot of the cruise lines want to sell you their own birthday cake. JJ Omega, I'm admiring your background. Please give a brief tour and explain. I don't know. Like, this is stuff that people have gifted us over time, or stuff that we bought. Let's see. Like, if we go here, this anchor thing, and these 2 birds, I'm pretty sure I purchased that. Up here, Ship on a Stick, Spider-Man, Piggy Bank, this blue globe that I bought at TJ Maxx, along with the peace symbol. Most of this shelf is stuff that we bought. I bought these 2 fishes at TJ Maxx. That is a Guy Fieri, I guess he likes to be called Fieri, Guy Fieri Funko Pop. This is a Ship on a Stick, a sloth potpourri thing that I purchased, Ship on a Stick, Lego Sand Trooper, and Lego, what is that, Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. These are 2 sets of headsets. I guess most of this, so the one thing that continues to be a gift, let's see if I can do it with this finger. That is one of the very first gifts we got from Ian in Sydney, Australia. That is a stuffed koala bear, La Lita Loca. Those letters came from Hobby Lobby. Pac-Man Ghost. I just got this pretzel, though, in New York. This hat down here is from our friend Liz. This towel animal elephant is from our friend John at the Ship Show. And then I got this at FAO Schwartz. I like the fact that in New York there's pretzels on the streets, and so I thought that would be a perfect addition to the shelf. And then, but yeah, I need to do some stuff on the shelves for sure. There's a quick shelf tour. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, passport and glasses is probably the best thing to have. I do always carry an extra pair of glasses. N+1, how about that? Let's see. What kind of cruise would you recommend taking a 10-year-old on for the first time? I would recommend taking a 10-year-old on a cruise that has, if your 10-year-olds like my 10-year-olds were, I'd take them somewhere that's got water slides, that has a kids club, that's got an arcade, that's got fun things to do, and other 10-year-olds that they can socialize with. So Carnival, Royal, Norwegian Cruise Line, all of those are going to have water slides, interesting things. Even MSC has some great water slides and virtual stuff. So any of those. Doug, I did get the Kiss Alive shirt, the Kiss shirt that you sent me, and I'm looking forward to wearing it. I'm going to be going to, my brother bought me tickets. I don't know what date it is. Someday in October, Kiss's final show in Nashville, Tennessee, my old hometown. I'll be making my way to Nashville to hook up with Retro Sarge. It's the last time I saw Kiss was in that arena with my brother, and we're going to see Kiss for one last time. I'm going to wear that shirt. I got to lose a little weight before it fits. But yeah, that company, their 4X doesn't fit the same way that some other 4Xs do, but this is motivation to lose a little weight so I can wear that Kiss shirt. But thank you, Doug. That was a very nice gift. I much appreciate it. Kevin Brubaker, do we have a Tony and Jenny B bobblehead set? My sister I used to collect bobbleheads. Back in the day, my sister had a personalized bobblehead made of me, but we don't have a Jenny B bobblehead. That would be nice to have. But we do have a Jenny B Lego now, which is nice. I got that made in New York. Beverly Judica, question. Thinking of flying out there and taking a European cruise that is a transatlantic back to the U.S., wondering if that is better than taking a ship to Europe and flying back. Do you agree? 6 of one, half dozen of the other. You're going to have to take the flight either way. It might be fun to get the flight out of the way and then just arrive back to the U.S. I think either one would be fine, but I think the next time I do it, we really want to figure out a way to do both, right? Like transatlantic over, transatlantic back. But the problem is that usually happens, transatlantic over usually happens in April. Transatlantic back usually happens in October, unless you're going to come back on the Queen Mary or something like that. But yeah, I guess if you were going to do it one time, I would get the flight out of the way first and then just enjoy the cruise back. So, see the world with Chris. I do like having the separate office space. It's nice to come and work and then to kind of leave work and go hang out with Jenny. And we don't bother each other during the day. And so it's actually worked out really well. It was really inexpensive to have it. And so, yeah, we like it. It's worked out pretty good, especially after, we were at home for so long because of the shutdown and all that. Let's see. How often do you book casino offers? Which line offers you the best casino offers? I don't really ever have any casino offers for free cruises because I'm basically a table player. I feel like I gamble enough to where they would give me a free cruise. Most of the time I'm getting like free play. Oftentimes on Princess I'll get $600 in free play. But like I know people that gamble probably less than I am gambling, and they are playing slot machines that are getting free offers right and left. And I know the Carnival's pretty good with that. We like Princess's Casino. It seems like they're good with the treating us well. And then Royal's nice, and then of course Carnival often gives out free cruises. So any of those I think would be good. Angela Hack, have you ever cruised? Do you ever cruise out of Texas? We have one time. We cruised out of Galveston pre-pandemic. It's tempting to come back now that a lot of ships are going to be there. Like realistically, maybe next year. I sounded like Chris Walken there. I don't know. Maybe next year. It seems like next year we could go to Texas and do like say 3 cruises. We could go spend a month in Texas, right? I've never been to San Antonio. I've never been to San Antonio. I've never been to Austin. So that would be fun. Maybe to go by land to Austin and it's a huge state, right? San Antonio, Austin, and then eventually end up in Galveston and say do 3 cruises. Do like the Jubilee and do what other new cruise ship, maybe do an Oasis class out of there. Unfortunately, the itineraries are a little repetitive. Well, you're going to go Western Caribbean. Again, we're trying to be a little more deliberate with our itineraries, but it might be fun to go down to Texas just to do some cruising out of Texas. But to answer your question, we have cruised out of Texas. It's just been a couple years ago. Hilda B, thank you so kindly for the super chat. Much appreciated. Let's see what we're looking like. We got 716 people here. We have 395 thumbs up. I think we could get to 500. We're halfway through the show. I think we could get to 500 by the end of the show. If you haven't yet, please do me a favor and hit the thumbs up. Am I aware of a possible train strike in London next week? Mel, I heard there might be a security guard at the airport strike. I haven't heard about a train strike, so I don't know. As long as I can somehow get to Southampton, I think there's an option to go from Heathrow to Southampton on a bus via Stonehenge. I got to book that, so I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be all right. John V only plays slots and gets 5 comp cruises a year. What cruise line, John? Let's see. Tony, you need to register with the cashier to get credit for playing table games. Yes, absolutely, Mario. So I always talk to the casino host. They get to know me very well. I'm always getting rated on my play. Yeah, that's the way it goes. Oh, Pudgy Pudge Boy. There's Lego in Dublin. How about that? I have to do that. See if I can get it stamped. Yeah, I need to save some suitcase space. I hate just going there and get the stamps. I like to try to support them. I mean, it's the whole company, but maybe I wonder. This was the first time when I went to Syracuse. This is the first time I ever went to the minifigure thing where you make 3 minifigures for $10. And they had like I Love New York shirts there, which was interesting. So now I want to go and look at the rest of these to see if there's like something that's Dublin specific. When I did the one in Denmark, they had the customizable minifigure where you could actually print on the figure. And of course I customized it, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. See if I can maybe get some more minifigures that look like Jenny B and I. Bren Creekmore, thank you so much for the super sticker. Boss. Boom, I like that flex on that super sticker. And Janelle Williams, what's going on, Janelle? Good to see you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Went to the bottom. Bobby D with a question. Today's cruise news, you mentioned drug dogs on board and going to rooms. Are they accessing random rooms while folks are out of the cabin? The only thing that I've seen, and I saw it first from Tess Almond, who is here, she sent over a picture that showed two dog handlers, whatever they're called, dog handlers with their dogs in a carnival corridor. What are we calling it? Hall, passageway? I feel like I'm not having the right name for a hallway on a cruise ship. I struggled in today's show. You couldn't tell if they were just going door to door, but maybe they were just walking the hall. I assume that's how they're doing it, walking the hall to see if it hits. That's not on every Carnival cruise ship. That's only on random Carnival cruise ships, but they are on the ships. So, yeah, there's that. There is that. Chuck Spencer, thank you so much for the super chat. Gotta love the Thursday live show. That's right. We're trying to get it in. It's good to, it's been a while since I've answered questions, so I'm glad to be here. Sheila, there is a transfer through Princess that leaves from Victoria Coach Station on the day of the cruise. Just book it through your cruise personalizer or have Jenny at it. Yeah, I think Pear DJ turned me on to a transfer that leaves the Heathrow area. Of course, they handle all your luggage. They're going to get you to the cruise port, but it does have a day excursion in Stonehenge, and I would love to see Stonehenge. So I think I'm going to book that. It's like 119 pounds. They gave me the link for that, so I just got to talk to Don and see if we can get that booked. Lewis G is going bowling, man. I hope you get a turkey, or a double turkey, or 10 strikes in a row, whatever you're going to do. Question, bidding on Princess Upgrade. Have you done this? Can you please explain how it works? I think we've done it before. I don't know. But basically, you put, if it works like Royal Up, somebody help me out with Princess. I think you just put how much you want to pay for your upgrade. They're either going to accept you or not accept you. But yeah, anybody ever successfully bid up on Princess, maybe give Walk Bunch 06 some deets down in the comments. Kiddo Shell, thank you so much for the super sticker. The boss like a boss. Let's see. Hey, Tony, you won't get a transfer from Heathrow to Southampton by Stonehenge. That's usually an excursion leaving the ship. There is one, though. I don't know if you guys want the information, but I've got the link on it. Let's see. Am I planning to sell out of Galveston? I talked about that just a second ago. Maybe next year. Maybe we'll do like 18 cruises at one time out of Galveston. There's certainly going to be a lot of cruises to do there. I'd like to see the new Royal Terminal, that kind of thing. Angela, yeah. So where were we at? We went to a couple casinos near Syracuse, and coming back, I spotted the Lego store on the map, and I'm like, oh, we got, what's that place called? Destiny? Yeah, that was pretty cool. Nice Lego store. Let's see. Yeah, Kevin, it was a Mountain Dew Zero. EMT837, thank you so much for the super chat. Going on an Alaska cruise in September on Jewel from Vancouver. Never been to that port. Any tips? Also, train tour worth it? I've not been out of Vancouver to cruise, so if anybody has cruised out of Vancouver to Alaska, help out EMT in the comments. I didn't like the train tour, but I didn't get the appropriate train tour. If you're talking about the White Rail Pass in Skagway, we went there the first season as we were coming out of the shutdown, and they were doing work on some of the trestles, and they had part of the route shut down. So we basically climbed the mountain. We never made it into Canada, where apparently it's amazing. We just went up and we came back down. They talked about some stuff on the side of the mountain. I didn't enjoy it. It was boring to me. It was like 2 hours, kind of wore me out. But I know a lot of people love it. So I don't know if I'm the best one on it. Somebody sing some praises for the White Rail Pass. Some people will tell you it's probably the best excursion ever. I probably should do it again before I continue to pass judgment on it. But it's probably worth doing it once. I just didn't love it. That was my takeaway. Bobby D, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. Personally, I don't mind the dogs as they've been at airports for decades. Yeah, the dogs don't bother me either. I'm fortunate I'm not allergic to dander or anything like that. Mike Mitchell, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it. Let's see. Question from Tom and Sandy Taylor. How much videoing can you do in the terminal? What is excluded? I don't know. Anywhere that security is in the cruise terminal, in the airport, anywhere the security is doing their thing, they don't want you to film that because it is a security risk. There, you could put out information that would make it easier for people to, break that security. So a lot of times you could say film the ticketing counter. Sometimes when I go into the terminal, if I'm not in a rush, I'll do a big set shot, that kind of thing where you can see the whole terminal. But the nitty gritty, the going through, the scanning cards, the going to security, that's usually off limits. Heather, been to the Mall of America Legos? I have too, like years ago before I was even that much of a collector, but I've been there. It's very cool. Somebody's asking where the jazz hands go. So it's only been gone for 2 shows. And I don't know, sometimes I get bored just doing the same thing over and over. To me, I always want to experiment and change. And so, just trying it out to see what it's like without the jazz hands. If more people respond, not people respond, that kind of thing. Just watching the numbers. But yeah, I get bored with the same jokes and stuff over and over. I do love the jazz hands, but maybe we make it more special again. Maybe it's maybe you don't know when it's coming, but it might be coming. You never know. Yeah, Barbara P. Yeah, that's what we heard. So I don't think any of our credit cards give that TSA pre-check. We've been thinking about upgrading our American Express to one that would. But yeah, good point. If you guys don't have TSA pre-check, check your credit card. You might be able to get it included in your price. Question, is there an uplifted service cruise that doesn't require getting dressed up? I am embracing my Boca Raton velour tracksuit stage of my life, and I don't want to wear suits. Yeah, Kevin, I don't know, I guess Holland, going in a tracksuit at dinner, who's going to let you do that? Maybe NCL is going to let you do that. Most of the time you're still going to have to wear slacks and some sort of button-up shirt, but you're not going to have to wear a suit. I found Holland was kind of a nice, not overly dressy, but kind of casual thing. Holland, celebrities even like that. I mean, I've seen people get dressy on Celebrity, but yeah. Let's see. Question, don't you normally do this on Tuesday? I just realized it isn't Tuesday. If your question is today Tuesday? The answer is no, it's Thursday. We don't, I guess we normally do it on Tuesday, but we do it when we can. So tonight we're doing it. We're doing it. Everybody misses it. You go one day without the jazz hand. Like a day without jazz hands is like night. It might be another 3 or 4 days. You guys never know. No, I was thinking maybe the news I don't put them in, but maybe like regular other videos. I'm just experimenting, you guys. It's good. Yeah, it's just funny. I'll keep that one to myself. But yeah, what did you guys like about seeing me today? Nothing. It's just, where's the jazz hands? We didn't get what we normally do. Arrgh. It's kind of funny. Let's see. Does Carnival ever change up excursions? I've never mapped out all the excursions to see if they're different from cruise to cruise, but I got to anticipate that they do change them from time to time. Like, I doubt they're always, like, have you gone somewhere and it's always the same excursion? I don't know. Any views on Oceania, Joya, other than wanting to go on them? I don't have any other views. I've gotten a lot of good feedback about Oceania. I think it would be fun. Questions, do camels bite? Man, that camel bite thing was more scary than I thought it would be. It was all fun and games until I could not remove my arm from the camel's mouth. And for a second, I was like, well, what do you do here? Like, I did not anticipate until that moment that I would have my arm in an animal's mouth and would not know how to get my arm out of the animal's mouth. So that was shocking, but it was good. It was good. Let's see. Shout out to Ludacris. Absolutely. He got his star on the Hall of Fame. Are you flying in with Don, or is he being left to his own devices? We don't live in the same town, so like we're not twinsies. Like we don't try to hook up and fly. We just meet up. So like every trip that we've gone, we just meet there. So yes, he's left to his own devices. Let's see. Question. Any thoughts about the MSC World America? I booked the inaugural. I think it's going to be nice. Like I've seen the designs of that new World Europa and World America, World Europe or whatever. Those are beautiful ships. MSC always brings the banging hardware, beautiful cruise ships. It'll be interesting to see what the experience is like. But yeah, I think you're there. ETWPG, how many cruises? I think I'm 46 now. Well, I can look at Shipmate. Shipmate doesn't record the Margaritaville at Sea cruise, so we will take the number on Shipmate and add 1 to it. So Shipmate says I've been on 45 past cruises, so we add 1 more from Margaritaville at Sea. So I've been on 46 cruises since April of 2017. And I've got 4 more upcoming cruises. The Regal Princess, the Carnival Spirit, the Carnival Celebration, and the Carnival Luminosa. Brent Splitler, do I feel any particular cruise line has longer port stops than others? I think that Holland America really knocks it out of the park when it comes to port stops. I felt like we had longer times in port. I thought they had a very diverse offering from shore excursions. I thought the shore excursions team was amazing. They were on top of the whole process. Holland America really could be winning in my mind. Of course, it's the most recent. I've spent over 30 days on Holland this year. But they did a really good job with shore excursions. And I mean, some of those port stops in Europe, I was out for like 8 hours. I mean, it was a long time. And so, yeah, that was pretty cool. Kathy Ellis, any thoughts on doing a world cruise? I think about it often. I think I've talked about it. So I'm 51, be 52 this year. I hate to plan anything in advance. Like someday I'm going to die and I'm going to go be with Jesus. And I feel like that's the purpose of life. Like I feel like we're living here to learn whatever we're supposed to learn. Then we go be with Jesus. That's me. Not everybody believes that. I get that. So I really don't think about the future too much other than that future. And but when it comes to the world cruise, I'm trying to put that inside 55 to 60 because they're expensive. They have to be well planned. But I would love to go on a world cruise sometime before I'm 60. It probably won't happen until sometime after I'm 55 years old. And that one I obviously would, I'm not doing it until Jenny wants to do it. And so whenever that works out for both of us, that's the goal. That's the goal. Any thoughts, Yoya DeFore, any thought on Carnival Forenzia? I would like to try it. I want to try and see what this Carnival, Italian at Sea is, or Fun at Sea, Fun Italian, Fun Pizza Italian, Carnival, mozzarella style. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I want to try it. We're going to be on the Luminosa. Did I say Luminosa next year? Yeah, we're going to be on the Luminosa next year. And of course, that's a rebranded Carnival ship. But yeah, I would like to do it. So. Which you like best, Mr. Sancho's or Paradise Beach? Johnny Miller, I'm giving it to Paradise Beach. Not because they've treated us really well, but it's a more chill vibe, and I'm more chill than party, so Paradise Beach wins for me. Let's see. Yeah, Shipmate, if you don't use it, it's a great way. The cool thing about Shipmate is it also holds your itineraries. So one thing I was thinking of is I don't really have a good conception of all the different cruise ports that I've been to. So one day, I'm either going to do it or maybe pay one of my kids to do it, go through Shipmate and write down all of the cruise ports that I've been to and when I went there, and then really, like, I don't know, for example, I couldn't tell you how many Royal Caribbean cruises I've been on or Carnival cruises. I just know that I've been on these 46 cruises across 10 cruise lines. I would guess that I've been on more Carnival cruises than anything, but I think possibly it could be Royal Caribbean. But if you start adding up days at sea, like I said, I've just done over 30 days on Holland. So I need some data on that, and I think it's going to come out of Shipmate. So Juno suggestions, go whale watching. Get yourself a tour that takes you over there to Ox Bay. And then we also went to the Mendenhall Glacier. If you really want to spend a day in Juneau, go to the Mendenhall, and if you got good mobility, hike out to the waterfall, hike the trails at Mendenhall, just sit and reflect on this melting ice. It was beautiful. It really was beautiful. We did Mendenhall in addition to whale watching, and so that shortens the amount of time that you get to do at Mendenhall. But the glacier was really cool out there. Kathy Ellis, I do use WhatsApp, but I will never. It's WhatsApp under my name, Tony Barnett. It's not WhatsApp under La Lita Loca. So if you ever see a comment that's trying to persuade you to use WhatsApp to contact us, we will never do that. But I don't want to poo-poo on WhatsApp because we found that that's one of the better communication methods on cruise ships. Their voice over IP, their voice over the internet works really well. Their video works really well. Jenny and I communicated really well in Australia and Europe using WhatsApp, more so better than, say, like iMessenger or FaceTime, that kind of thing. So, yeah. Did you like the Crazy Lobster? Did I go to the Crazy Lobster? I must not even remembered it. Crazy Lobster. I know what you're talking about. In Puerto Vallarta. I did like the Crazy Lobster in Puerto Vallarta. It was I had lobster thermidor. Was that Crazy Lobster? I was thinking about Alaska still, where we went to Tracy's Crab Shack. Crazy Lobster was good. I think that's what you're talking about. I don't know. Let's see. Sea Life with Us. Jenny B is in the chat if you have a question for her. Beverly Judica, any suggestions of what to do in Key West? We will be on the Virgin Scarlet Lady in September. Is there something we really should do? I don't know what you like to do. I've been to the Pirate Museum there. I found that to be really interesting. Climbed to the top of the Pirate Tower. There's also a statue museum really close to that Mallory Square, which I thought was really neat, that had some busts of famous people from Key West. If you like to get your drink on, though, you can go down Duval Street. There's all kinds of bars down Duval Street that are famous bars. There's shopping down Duval Street. Of course, you got to go see the southernmost point in the United States. It's an iconic thing to take a picture. You can almost touch Cuba from there. There's mile marker 0. There's a lot of stuff that you can do there. There's a butterfly museum. There's the Hemingway house that has like a 6-toed cat. There is a house that presidents have used to vacation in Key West. There's a lot that you can do there. There's a hop-on, hop-off bus, the Old Town Trolley. So, but for me, if I was going back to Key West right now, what would I do? I've never been to the Hemingway house, and I've never been to the butterfly thing. I would probably like to do both of those, and I'd really like to go on foot and get a good picture in front of that southernmost point. That's probably what I would do. The lobster roll was good. It was a fun odyssey for me for DJ's Clam Shack, but I don't think I would make I'm not running back there. So let's see. Wow, it's 9:50 already. How about that? The well portion of the excursion got canceled due to weather. Oh, that's sad. Yeah, the other thing I had booked in Juneau is I was going to do that helicopter tour where they landed you on a glacier. I kind of wanted to do that, but it didn't happen. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up goal, guys. 500 thumbs up, 568. You guys rock the Casbah. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, you can still do it. I sure would appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Question, just booked Celestial cruises in Greece. Any thoughts on that cruise line? I don't know anything about Celestial, Mario. If anybody's cruised Celestial, maybe leave some details in the comments. Other than what I've read about in the news, nothing comes to mind as a big red flag, but I think they're based there in Greece, so I think that you're probably in the right place, but I don't know if anybody's done that. If so, leave a comment below. Hilda B, thumbs up on the butterfly experience. Let's see. A question, what port are you most looking forward to in the British Isles? So, just off the top of my head, knowing that I'm going to Liverpool, knowing that I can go where the Beatles, did their thing. Of course, I'll be in London too, so I should be able to find some Beatles stuff there. But I'm looking forward to seeing, walking around, seeing Strawberry Fields, Penny Lane, that kind of thing. But I'm also looking forward to the Ireland ports. I used to run a global operations team for IT. So I had a team in China, I had a team in Europe, and we had 2 or 3 people that worked in Glasgow, Scotland. So that's in Scotland, of course, Dublin, Ireland. So I've got a lot of things going on in my head. These ports are a little bit iconic to me. It's going to be a whirlwind, though. Again, we go 8 days in a row before a sea day, so every day is going to be something different. I don't know how I'm going to capture it, take it all in, but I don't know. I don't know if you guys watched the 30 amazing things I saw in North Europe. The video wasn't super watched. But I enjoyed, I've watched that video 3 or 4 times just because it was really neat to see that trip encapsulated into those moments. And I'm looking forward to having that same experience on this cruise. So, yeah, look forward to it. Question, did you see they are selling Starbucks mugs on RCL ships? Yes, Margot. Somebody sent us that post over. Jenny and I both squealed like excited people to see that they're going to do those Starbucks mugs on RCL ships. Definitely will be collecting those. Julie said EECC has done Celestial. Yeah, go check out their channel. Maybe I'm sure they've got vlogs of it. The vlogs. Oh, thank you, Constance. Michael got to do the Beatles experience when he was in Liverpool in March. That's cool. Jenny B is excited about the mugs also. Question, did you know Lego isn't? No. So, Paul, I haven't looked up. The only Lego I know on this trip so far, well, when I got my passport in Syracuse, I was bemoaning to the guy, I wish I'd have known about this when I was in Denmark, because then I would have got the Copenhagen stamp. I said, I'm going to London. He goes, there's 2 Lego stores in London. So I can track down some. Of course, I don't know if Don wants to run around to Lego with me, but maybe he will. So Lego stores in London, Lego store in Edinburgh, so I can go back and get that. I think I say that wrong. People complain about the way. Somebody help me. How do I say Edinburgh? But yeah, so Glasgow, maybe Dublin. Again, I can't spend my whole time going looking for Lego stores when I'm supposed to see other stuff, but I would love to get all the Lego stores, so it'll be interesting. Kathy Ellis, recommendation on the 360 camera. I love the Insta360 X2 that I have. There is an upgrade out there, 2 possible upgrades. I haven't done it yet, but some of that footage that you saw in those last videos came from that camera. Super easy to use. You just put it up in the air, you hit record. All of the work is done in post-production when you actually frame out the shot, but it's so easy just to throw that camera up in the air and capture everything. So Insta360 X2 would be my recommendation. Question, how do you like Ovation of the Seas going to Alaska June the 2nd out of Seattle? How are the shows? I don't think I've been on Ovation of the Seas. Yeah, I don't know. I do like that class of ship. Isn't that a quantum, excuse me, isn't that a quantum class ship? I believe, I've been on Spectrum of the Seas. It was great. The shows are great. I think you'll have a good time. Edinburgh. What do I say borough? I guess Edinburgh. I think I've said Edinburgh before. Lego store in Japan. I'm sure they have one. Do I use a gimbal stabilizer? No gimbal stabilizer. I just set the cameras on the GoPro. I just set it on max stabilization. I messed up really. If you look at the Coteal footage, some of that early footage, I didn't mean to film in super wide. I don't really like that round fisheye look. So what I try to do is just frame in linear and go super stable. Or, of course, with the 360 cam, I go super stable. And then when I'm shooting, a lot of that stuff is shot with my iPhone. Just if you see a shot that's 4 or 5 seconds long, it's usually shot with my iPhone where I'm holding it with both hands, trying to make the shot steady. So I don't carry a lot of gear. You know, Beverly, that sounds interesting. I've been fascinated with Jack the Ripper. She suggests going to the Jack the Ripper Museum. T-Man is going on the Jewel in Sydney. How about that? Oh, Lego in Schaumburg. How about that? Near Chicago. I don't think I want to start a Lego channel. There's a lot out there. I did start a Lego channel. I think there's one video on it. It's called Rock, Paper, Brick. Rock, Paper, Brick. I think that channel's still alive. I don't know. Like, I think the only thing that I would really want to show with Lego, maybe my Lego haul, or maybe the fact that I went to a Lego store, I think I can do that on another channel that I combine with other stuff. So, but I don't know. People might watch it, might not. I don't know. It's hard to figure out. Okay, 4 more minutes. What are the last questions? Jeffrey Wagner, what's going on, buddy? Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it. I've talked my voice dry. It's weird when you don't do these lives for a while. You can really blow out your voice. How about that? Sherlock Holmes house in London. Very cool. Edinburgh. Mystery. Well, I am going back to Edinburgh on this trip. That will be the only repeat port stop. Edinburgh. Edinburgh. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm excited. I get to see the Forth Bridge again. They're in South Queensferry, and then go back into town. It was a busy town. Let's see. Have I talked about Charleston, South Carolina, losing the cruise port? Was Carnival Sunshine out of there? Yeah. Somebody was telling me, I can't remember who it was. I think it was on this last cruise. They were saying that Charleston was losing their port for dumping or something like that. But yeah, the government, they didn't come to an agreement. So Charleston is losing their port. Do I have plans to meet up with Emma? Yes. I've held an extra day. I don't know what the plan is. I think she's held the date. I told Don to try to stay a day later if he could. I think Parrot DJ is going to be there. So I think we are going to get to meet her, which will be nice. Was today the first day I put out a chapter? No, I've done that before, Doug. I'm still experimenting whether or not that helps or hurts the chapter. I think it makes it more easy to skip around, but essentially you don't want people skipping around your video. You want people to watch the whole video. So chapters, I think they're cool, but at the same time they could hurt you. So today's video, is a 10-minute video. The average view duration is 5 minutes and 13 seconds, so it's only being viewed about 50% of the way through. I'll know in a few days where people are dropping off, but the video is outperforming the straight news, no frills, just writing out the news story, reading it, and throwing B-roll is actually the most popular video of the last 10 videos on the channel. So it's interesting what the data tells you, what people want to see. Now, certainly that's not what everybody wants to see, but overall, it's very weird because to me, I enjoy giving out information, but sometimes the news can be a little more boring than doing a vlog. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, but it's kind of fun. Yeah, Doug. So I used to do them every day, but again, I think they actually hurt the watch time. Do I analyze every video? Yeah, I sure do, because it's funny. I just want to be the best that I can. And so a lot of that has to do with just trying to get better. And the way you get better is analyze every video. So, any time spent in Southampton before? I'm not going directly to Southampton. I'm going to be in London for a couple days. So I'm not sure what the plan is. Yeah, who only watches part of the video? Watch the whole dang video, everybody. How about that? How about that? Watch it all. Yeah, Royal Terminal in Galveston, new and shiny. Want to do that? No, I mean, everything counts. Like the question, so if you don't watch the whole video, it doesn't count. Everything counts. Like it's hard to say. So basically, YouTube is trying to determine if people are satisfied with the video, and if people are satisfied with the video, they will show it to more people. So like you can go on the analytics and you can see exactly how many people that YouTube has offered the video up to. And so they will do the math. They'll say, look, we offered the video to 1 million people, but only 50,000 people clicked on it and watched it. And if that percentage is so low, they'll stop offering the video out. Like I would be surprised if they offered the video to 1 million people. Maybe they offer the video to 200,000 people and 50,000 people watch it. And as that number gets lower, as less people watch, they quit offering it out. So it's a whole thing. It's a really interesting thing. It's kind of a fun problem to solve because you got this whole, we were talking about on the Patreon show, there's this whole balance that you strike between the analytical side of YouTube, right? Like trying to be a successful YouTuber, trying to be a successful person making videos versus your creative side, because the creative side works differently than the analytical side. It's this tension that you have to bridge. And it's one of the most exciting problems I've ever had to deal with in my life. So I like it quite a bit, but I do like to experiment. I get bored easy, so I'm a little bit of a change agent. I'm a little bit of I love chaos a little bit. So if you go back and watch the show if you watch 50 shows in a row, you should be able to see that they're constantly changing and going back and changing, that kind of thing. So Cruise Radio is in the house. What is up, Doug? Doug and I basically determined today that we are related somehow. I don't know how, but we feel like at some point in history, we are members of the same family. So my brother Doug is here. How about that? How about that? Yeah, came for the cruise show, stayed for the masterclass. I don't have any answers, Doug. You're cracking through these same problems that I am. So, question: are there any things Princess does that you enjoy more than Hal? I'm pretty sure. Casino, to be fair, casino. It seems like the casino community, I guess that's what we'll call it. I feel like there's more active gamblers filling up the casino, at least on the Princess cruises that I've been on, compared to the Hal cruises that I've been on. Now, maybe it's because I've been on some pretty weird Hal cruises, right? I went on this, Australian cruise, which was a little different, had an okay casino scene. But then the transatlantic, maybe a lot of gamblers aren't jumping on transatlantics. It's hard to say. But I think Princess does the casino better, but almost in every other, Princess also does the main shows better, the production shows better. The beef I have with Holland America is they have singers and they have dancers, but they don't have shows with singing and dancing together. They don't have a traditional production show. They have like a ballet show or a modern dance show, or they'll have an a cappella show. So I would say two things. I would say casino and the stage entertainment. But I think on almost every other category, I would probably give it to Hal. So it's tough. I think if you like one, you're pretty much going to like the other. It's just going to be a nuanced thing. That's a great question, though. Oh, Kathy, I don't mean to keep you up late, but I hope it's good. Hope it's good. All right. We have hit the top of the hour. Thank you guys so much for continuing to watch the show and to come to the live stream. The goal is, once things settle down, is to get back to a regular Tuesday night live stream at 9 p.m. With both of us, that kind of thing. And so, stay tuned for that. Appreciate you guys watching the videos. Thank you for being here tonight. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up. And thank you guys so much. This is Tony for La Lita Loca. Let me cue up the outro video so it's not awkward. We don't want it to be awkward. See, now, here we go. Thank you guys so much for stopping in tonight. This is Tony for La Lita Loca, and until the next time, thanks for keeping up. Well, here, let's pause that video. I'll give you guys some jazz hands. Thank you guys for keeping up with everything going on in cruising. And if you want to keep up with everything going on in cruising, make sure you're subscribed. This is Tony for La Lita Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.